Alright, it's the video you asked for, the best player in the Premier League based on their current kit number from 1 to 30. I mean, I'm not going higher than 30 because otherwise we'd be here all day. And once you go past that number, you start getting players like Scott McTominay and Luke Amos. 1. David De Gea. Starting off, one of the easiest choices in the list. For Christ's sake, the only other starting goalkeeper in the top 6 who owns the number 1 jersey are Hugo Lloris and the lad who just conceded 10 in a week. David De Gea may have started his Premier League career with the confidence of a Mormon on their wedding night, but he's proven a world-class shot stopper. 2. Kyle Walker. Alright, if any of you get sick of the sight of Man City players, you might just want to turn off this video now, because you're going to be vomiting into a goddamn bucket by the time I'm done. Look, Kyle Walker cost Man City £50 million. Who else am I gonna pick? Danny Simpson? The only number 2 he's better than is the one sitting in his block toilet. 3. Danny Rose. I'm not gonna lie, this was a tough one, and Liverpool fans, feel free to scream down your laptops at me for not choosing Fabinho, but I'm going to stick with Danny Rose, a fine fullback for Spurs. Don't worry Liverpool, you'll have enough representation in this list. Trust me. 4. Virgil van Dijk. See, without a doubt the best number 4 in the Premier League. A year ago people were laughing at Liverpool chucking another 75 million quid at their favourite overpriced shop. Now he's probably going to win the PFA Player of the Year award. 5. Jan Vertonghen. Remember under the days of Tim Sherwood when Spurs would regularly get battered on the road and Jan Vertonghen would constantly hint at moving to a Champions League club. 5 years later and he just scored in the first leg of a last 16 3-0 win over Russia Dortmund. 6. Paul Pogba. Now if Graham Souness was making this list, he'd probably choose someone like Adrien Mariappa before he even dared to touch Paul Pogba. But come on, in the last year the Frenchman has won the World Cup and scored nearly 20 goals for Manchester United from midfield. Not bad for a virus. 7. N'Golo Kante. For this number, you usually expect a flying winger in the mold of Cristiano Ronaldo, right? I mean, I could have chosen Son Heung-min, Raheem Sterling, or even Alexis Sanchez. Why the hell would I want to? But no, instead it's N'Golo Kante, arguably the best central midfield player in world football, although he'd never admit it. 8. Ruben Neves. Finally, a player not in the top 6, although to be honest, Ruben Neves absolutely belongs in it. The array of passing this man possesses, cherish him, Wolves fans, because this 22-year-old will not be there for long. 9. Andy Carroll. No, obviously not. 9. Alexander Lacazette. Again, Liverpool fans are probably getting ready to rob my house after not selecting Roberto Firmino. Well, the joke's on you lads, because I live in squalor. Lacazette may have watched the World Cup on TV and was just sent off against a bunch of builders, but he has 12 goals this season. Not bad for a team who crumble on the road. 10. Sergio Aguero. Okay, the contentious one, and by far the hardest decision. Even now, I'm not sure I have this one correct. I'm going with Sergio Aguero, but it just feels wrong omitting Harry Kane or even Eden Hazard. Let me know in the comments below. 11. Mohamed Salah. Mark Albrighton, Matt Ritchie, Theo Walcott. How about the lad who's already scored 64 goals in 18 months for Liverpool? Mo Salah, the man is so good they ordered a blind man to create a statue of him. I mean, I guess. 12. Luca Dina. I actually think Luca Dina is quite underrated. Yes, Everton can't defend set pieces for toffee, but the former Barcelona man is one of the most talented fullbacks in the league. Can whip a mean free kick too. 13. Alisson. I'm not sure why a goalkeeper would ever choose the number 13, especially when he so often plays out from the back. It's just asking for trouble. But the Brazil number 1 has been a presence for Liverpool, making the fans forget all about that nasty Carius. 14. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Not as good as some previous number 14s in Arsenal's history, but still. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has 28 goals in 44 games for Arsenal. Brilliant stuff. 15. Harry Maguire. Okay, so Harry Maguire hasn't quite hit the heights of the World Cup, and let's be honest, his big money move to Old Trafford has probably disappeared into the wind, but the Leicester centre half is still a solid defender. 16. Abdoulaye Doucouré. Linked to PSG, it's a good job Abdoulaye Doucouré didn't go. Has he ever heard the fates of Yohan Cabaye and Hatem Ben Arfa? Mid-table and PSG do not mix. I won't even get started on Choupo-Moting. Still a top midfielder for Watford though, with a venomous strike. 17. Kevin De Bruyne. Easiest choice on the list. Kevin De Bruyne is the best player in the league. 18. Diego Jota. Back to Wolves for this one. Diego Jota is having one hell of a season. At just 22 years of age, he scored 5 goals this season and weighed in with several assists. That hat-trick against Leicester was one of the moments of the season. Fine player. 19. Leroy Sané. I'm still trying to work out how Germany, a team who ended up losing to South Korea, felt they didn't need to bring Leroy Sané to the World Cup last summer. On his day, the Man City winger is one of the most devastating wingers in world football. 20. Bernardo Silva. If Dele Alli ever watches this, he will no doubt be scratching his head in utter confusion. But Bernardo Silva is having a brilliant season. He's played 33 times already, refusing to make way for the new £60 million signing on the bench. Criminally underrated. 21. David Silva. Sticking with Man City, I told you lads, this might be the part where you start to get violently ill if you're that way inclined. But how am I supposed to omit David Silva? The man is one of the Premier League's finest ever technicians, and even better, he's finally over Sinead O'Connor phase. 22. Benjamin Mendy. The 4th Man City player in a row. I mean, what do you expect? They spend the most money. Benjamin Mendy might look like he was bought solely for his Twitter antics, but he's actually a good player. 23. Christian Eriksen. I'm still not over Christian Eriksen sticking the knife into the Irish side during those World Cup playoffs, but hey, we were terrible, and he is a genuinely world-class talent. By far the best thing to come out of that Gareth Bale money for Spurs. Mind you, they spent most of that on absolute crap. 24. Serge Aurier. Serge Aurier just squeezes out Ryan Fraser here, who is having a a better season, but let's be real for a second. Aurier has played over 80 times for PSG. I'm guessing nobody in France even knows Fraser exists, except you know the one with Kelsey Grammer in it, but even that one I'm not so sure. 25, Fernandinho. Probably Van Dijk's biggest threat for the PFA Player of the Year award. Without him, Man City are susceptible to falling like a deck of cards. De Bruyne might be their best player, but Fernandinho is their only irreplaceable one. 26, Andrew Robertson. Oh well, this guy doesn't stop running. To think he was a few minutes off signing for Stoke 2 years ago. Look at him now. 27, Lucas Moura. A man who's finally made his way to the Premier League. You know, after Sir Alex Ferguson thought it was madness to spend £40 million on a teenager. Lucas is a decent player, if not the world-class talent that would rival Neymar. 28, Cesar Azpilicueta. Look, Cesar Azpilicueta is not having a great season, but we all know on his day, he's one of the best defenders in the league. 29, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Big things are expected of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. At just 21 years of age, he's proving to be a shining light at right back for Crystal Palace. He's got to be worth big money soon. 30, Richarlison. Speaking of which, Everton paid £50 million for Richarlison last summer, and he's already been linked with moves to Atletico Madrid and Chelsea. I mean, he's a decent player, lads, but is he that good? First, can we just see him in a team that isn't managed by Marco Silva?